Hey guys, I just wanted to give my quick little review on the Acolyte for what it's worth. Now I've finished it now. So I was gonna say it's like a season one review. I'm calling it season one. I don't know if this is going to get a season two. To be honest, I'll be very surprised if it does at this point. But I've been wrong before, so we shall see. Kind of a mixed bag, to be totally honest. I definitely didn't hate this show as much as some people, seem to have done. But totally get the criticisms, and this is a far from a perfect, um, you know, kind of addition to the Star Wars lore. But anyway, I'm just gonna jump straight into it. So kicking things off with the plot. So essentially, the show is it's basically decades before the Phantom Menace. In fact, almost a century before the Phantom Menace. Basically, someone is killing Jedi, and so a Jedi Master teamed up with his former Padawan, basically to kind of investigate these murders and crimes. And along the way, the dark truth behind you know why these Jedi are dying is uncovered, along with there's obviously a new evil that reveals itself. And yeah, that's basically the plot. So kind of a new bit of a different kind of format for my reviews. I'm just trying something new. So let me know if you like this. I thought I'd get my mug on camera this time. So apologies for that. So I'm gonna go as I go through the good, the mixed, and then just the bad, and then get my score at the end. So kicking things off with the positive stuff, like what I liked about the show. I like the premise. I thought from day one, I thought this was a cool idea for a Star Wars show. When it's first announced, and I was very intrigued by it. It sounded quite almost quite a dark, kind of story. Almost focusing more on the dark side, which I'm always about that. I think for the most part, the premise, and the overall tone of the show, I really liked. And yeah, it definitely made for some cool moments, and just I like even going into the finale as well. There were a lot of cool shots in that, and just interesting kind of ideas that I'd never really thought about for Star Wars that we saw in this show. I really liked when Sol is chasing May. My terminology is going to be all over the place with this, but it's like the sort of the dust that orbits the planet. It looked like kind of rubble and stuff, but that was really cool. They had kind of like little sort of high speed chase through that, and that was just a cool visual. So I like that. And yeah, so overall that works for me. There was some really we got some new characters in this show that to Star Wars that I really enjoyed. Sol, obviously being one of the best. I really liked Jackie, which was Daphne Keen's character. Not in it for very long, as it turned out. But I liked her as a Padawan. I think she's a really great actress. So I was quite surprised that she died as soon as early as she did. So I'd like to see more from her, but obviously that ain't gonna happen. But I mean, this is Disney Star Wars, so and Smilo Ren, I thought was a really cool villain. That may be a hot take, but that's how I feel. I really liked him. I liked his look. The helmet's really cool. And yeah, I just thought he was just really kind of menacing, and yeah, I thought it worked for me. I think when we first see him, I'm trying to think what his name is now. Is it Kamir? Is that right? Probably saying that wrong as well. But at first he obviously that kind of twist where he's kind of acts as this kind of weedy guy, and you're like, oh, and then I think it's end of episode 4, when it's revealed that he is the stranger. Or I can't, it might be episode 5 actually. So yeah, it was kind of a bit of a twist. A lot of people have, I'd sort of been theorizing that it was going to be him anyway, and it made sense that it was him. But yeah, I liked him as a villain. Master Indara, Carrie Ann Moss, I thought she was, again, for what she did in the show, she wasn't in for very long, but I really liked her, and I really liked her as a Jedi. I thought she was, played the role really well. At times she, maybe a bit too stoic, but then maybe that's just what she was asked to do. You can't really blame her for that. But again, I liked her in the show. And Master Kelnaka, it's a Wookiee with a Wookiee Jedi, you know, a Wookiee with a lightsaber. What more do you need to know about? You know, that was awesome. A lot of people didn't like his look. Personally, I like the look. I didn't think it looked that bad, but again, you know, that's just my opinion. Um, I mean, you know, it didn't look any different than Chewie has done in like Solo, or you know, kind of some of the more recent Star Wars offerings. So, you know, I yeah, I liked him. I think the fight scenes as well. I got to say the choreography I think is the best that Disney's done so far. Way better than anything from the sequel trilogy. I think this is absolute. You know, for me this was like the best choreography since the prequels. And then again, you know, that may be a hot take, but I think this is far better than a lot of stuff that Disney put out. And yeah, so I think this is if they do more stuff like this, I really love like the kind of focus on like martial arts and that kind of more of that kind of like realm with the choreography. And there's just some cool like ideas, with the lightsabers, like the fight between Smilo and Sol in the finale. I thought that was fucking awesome, to be honest. I thought that was really cool. And yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, the fight between Osha and May, like it was so obvious at times that was just like a double, because like it literally, like they. But I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, but overall choreography, I loved it, and I was entertained week in week out. Like yeah, it wasn't the best show, but I had fun with it. I was somewhat invested. So I mean, I think it did its job in that sense. So that's definitely a tick in the box there. Moving on to the mixed aspects, the plot was pretty confusing at times. Characters would often, mainly being Osha and May, they would change their motivations, where one would be, May was obviously bad for the most part, and then it's like she kind of just changes her mind straight away as soon as she meets up with Osha again, and suddenly she's good, and then she doesn't want to be an apprentice anymore to Smilo, and she now, just basically sort of betrays him like instantly. And then it kind of goes back again. They got a bit like kind of lost me a bit in the middle, and there's just some very kind of just baffling story decisions and just a lot of scenes that I didn't really think needed to be there. Basil as well was kind of mixed for me. Like I love animals, so anytime you put a cute little creature in Star Wars, I'm gonna enjoy that. So I'm very much that I'm very much the audience for the things like that, cute little characters and stuff. But and he looked kind of sweet, with his little goggles and hat and stuff. But why was he there? Like, I don't really get what he was doing. What the point of him being there was. If he'd have been in maybe 1 or 2 episodes, fine. But he was in it quite a lot towards the end, but didn't really seem to. And it's like I don't really get why when like again going back to when Sol is chasing May, why did he like kind of fuck up the engine? Or why did he kind of sabotage that? Like maybe I missed something there, but. Very strange. So yeah, that's the mix. And then moving on to the bad stuff, finally. Again, confusing plot, kind of just drifting over to that. Basically gave us a lot of pointless characters. There was that one Jedi that was just like a total fucking wet wipe. Like, what did he bring to this? Like, why, again, like Basil, why was he in it so much? Like, what did he even do? Like, you never even saw him use the Force to even open a door. I mean, let alone fucking wield a lightsaber. And yeah, like I don't know. There was just, and like, I mean, some of the performances were kind of a bit lame as well. I mean, I liked the characters of Osha and May, but at times, like again, it was just a bit like, I don't know. The performances didn't really work for me. It was a little bit wooden at times. And that also gave us some cringy moments, like again with Basil when he's like attacking May, like what the fuck was that? And then you get these like little slapstick comedy moments that just feel so out of place and just, I mean, I found myself laughing out loud, but at times when I probably shouldn't have been, because I don't think I was supposed to be laughing. So there was a lot of eye rolling moments, and there was a lot of references and things that again, eye rolling moments that I think we all knew that were coming. And whatever, it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, I just tell a good story. That's all people want to see. messing up canon events as well, like the whole thing with Mundi, which I know is a lot of people have kind of blown that out of proportion and stuff, but saying, oh, what's the big deal? But again, Phantom Menace is clearly established. He says that there's, Sith have been, they've been gone from, millennium, and then, but yet there's obviously a Sith, that reveals himself. And that's just kind of ignored. But then I guess as the show goes on, it's kind of established that, they hid that from the council because of obviously they would find out about what happened. Obviously with Osha and May and the coven with the witches. I haven't even mentioned them yet. It was all right. Like I kind of enjoyed the episode as a flashback episode. But ultimately, yeah, I mean, messing up kind of established canon things about, Anakin kind of being, created by the Force, and now he, being the chosen one, but of course he's now no longer the chosen one, because Osha and May were also created by the Force. So overall, I would say, Acolyte was an enjoyable watch. I definitely liked it more than I disliked it. It was not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I'd be very surprised if it gets to season 2, as I said, but I think it definitely will, because, Disney. And yeah, I mean, there were some cool moments. I say the lightsaber fights were great. So yeah, overall, I would say it's worth a watch. And for that reason, I'm going to give it 3.5 Basils out of 5. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed this review. Kind of a bit of a different format, as I said. Let me know, what you thought about the Acolyte. As I say, this is just my opinion, so I'm not saying like I'm right or, I'm not right or wrong. This is just my opinion. It's totally subjective. But let me know your thoughts. I'd love to know kind of your experience watching it. Did you hate it? Did you like it? Are you with me, kind of somewhere in the middle? Do you think it will get a season 2? And also, do you like this new format? Do you like seeing my face when I do these things? Let me know. But until next time, guys, have a great rest of your day. Take care.